The Lion and the Mouse, a tale of unexpected kindness. The roar that shook the forest. The sun was setting over the golden savanna, painting the sky in shades of fire. In the heart of that vast wilderness, a mighty lion lay beneath an old acacia tree. He was the king, strong, proud, and feared by every creature. But tonight he wasn't roaring for power. He was roaring because he was lonely. The echo of his voice faded into silence, swallowed by the wind. Even kings sometimes have no one to listen. A tiny life in the shadows. Not far from that tree, a small mouse scurried through the dry grass. To her, the world was enormous, every leaf a wall, every shadow a threat. She was used to hiding, from snakes, from hawks, from everything. But she wasn't afraid of living. She had a heart bigger than her body, and tonight, hunger pushed her closer to danger, closer to the sleeping lion, the unthinkable encounter. The mouse climbed up the lion's paw, trembling. She just wanted a few crumbs from his last meal, but a sudden twitch of the lion's tail made her squeak. The lion's eyes opened, amber, glowing, furious. With one swift move, he trapped her beneath his paw. "Who dares disturb the king's rest?" he thundered. The mouse froze. Her tiny body shivered under his weight. I, I'm sorry, my lord," she stammered. "I meant no harm." The plea for mercy. The lion's claws hovered, sharp and gleaming. The mouse looked up, tears filling her eyes. "If you let me go," she whispered, "I'll never forget your kindness. Maybe. One day I could repay it." The lion laughed, a deep, rumbling sound that shook the ground. "You repay me?" He lowered his paw slowly, amused. "Go then, little fool," he said softly. "Run before I change my mind." The mouse bowed low, her heart pounding. She ran into the grass, her soul lit with gratitude. The fall of the king days later, the jungle was quiet, too quiet. The lion, wandering near the hunter's trail, didn't sense the trap until it was too late. A heavy net fell from above, tightening around him. He roared, clawed, fought. But the more he struggled, the tighter it became. For the first time, fear gripped the mighty heart of the king. He was caught, helpless, and no one came to his roar. The jungle holds its breath. Night fell over the jungle. The wind whispered through the trees, carrying the lion's distant roars, desperate, echoing, fading. The animals listened, but none dared to help. For years he had ruled with strength, not kindness. And now, when he needed mercy, the world was silent. The moon hung above him like a lonely witness. Beneath it, the king trembled, exhausted, his golden mane tangled in ropes. The jungle, once his kingdom, now felt like a prison, the sound of a memory. Deep within the grass, the little mouse heard something, faint, broken, familiar. A roar she once feared, but could never forget. Her tiny heart skipped. "That voice," she whispered. Images rushed back. His mercy, his laughter, his words. "Run before I change my mind." He had let her live. And now, he was the one begging for life. She hesitated only a moment. Then with trembling courage, she turned toward the sound. The climb of courage. The lion's eyes fluttered open as he felt something brush against his paw. He growled weakly, "Go away, whoever you are." A small voice answered, "It's me, my lord, the little mouse you spared." For a second, the lion blinked in disbelief. "You?" he whispered, his voice cracked from despair. Yes, she said, her tone steady, brave. Hold still. I'll get you out. Then with tiny teeth and an enormous heart, she began to gnaw through the thick ropes. The roar that meant thank you. Minute by minute, strand by strand, she chewed through the net. The rain began to fall, cold, heavy, unrelenting. Her fur clung to her body, but she didn't stop. Her teeth bled, her jaw ached, yet she pressed on. The lion could only watch. Silent, humbled, tears hidden beneath the storm. Finally, with one last snap, the ropes gave way. The lion stumbled free, gasping for breath. He looked down at the tiny creature before him, and for the first time the king bowed his head. A lesson written in rain. The rain washed over them both, the mighty and the small. The mouse sat, trembling, exhausted, yet smiling. The lion spoke softly. You saved me. I owe you my life. The mouse replied, You gave me mine first. For a moment there was only silence, not of fear, but of understanding. The lion's heart, once filled with pride, now overflowed with gratitude. He knew now, strength isn't measured by power, but by kindness. And as the dawn returned, the jungle awoke to a new kind of king, one who had learned how to bow. Morning after the storm. When the rain stopped, the jungle breathed again. The air was clean, the sky soft with the scent of new beginnings. The lion stood at the edge of the clearing, his mane dripping with rainwater, his heart strangely light. Around him the forest no longer looked like a throne, it looked like a home. The mouse sat beside him, tiny but radiant in the morning light. She said softly, You see, even the smallest can help the strongest. The lion smiled, not as a king, but as a friend. Whispers through the trees. News of what had happened spread like wind through the jungle. Animals who once feared the lion whispered in awe. The king was saved by a mouse. Some laughed, some couldn't believe it. But soon disbelief turned into respect. Because when they saw the lion again, they saw something new in his eyes. Gentleness. No longer did he roar to command. He spoke softly, listened often, and walked slowly among his people. And the jungle, once ruled by fear, began to heal. The gift of remembering one afternoon, as the sun melted behind the trees, the lion called for the mouse. She climbed up a rock and looked at him curiously. I want to thank you, he said. You already did, she smiled. No, he shook his head. You taught me something I never learned in all my years of strength. That kindness is a form of power. He placed before her a seed, golden and glowing in the sunlight. A seed of gratitude, he said. Plant it where your heart tells you. And she did. The seed that grew into hope, seasons passed. Rain came, leaves fell, and life went on. From that seed grew a small tree with silver leaves that shimmered like moonlight. Under its shade, animals of every kind, predator and prey alike, would gather without fear. They called it the Tree of Mercy, and when the wind passed through its branches, it sounded like a whisper, soft, gentle like the mouse's voice. No act of kindness is ever too small. Even the lion, now older and wiser, would rest beneath it, eyes closed, rememberings. The echo that never fades. Years later, when the lion was gone, the jungle mourned, not for a ruler, but for a heart. The little mouse, now gray with age, still visited the tree every dawn. She would place one grain of rice beneath its roots and whisper, Thank you. For mercy had saved them both, one from death, one from pride. The jungle thrived under that lesson, passing it from mother to child, from story to story. And even now, when the wind rustles through the silver leaves, thank you so much for watching this video. If you found this story inspiring or helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It truly means a lot and helps me create even more powerful stories for you. Remember, your dreams are waiting for you, but they only come true when you take action. Start today, no matter how small the step, because every great journey begins with a single move, your move. Believe in yourself, keep going, and never give up. See you in the next video. And until then, keep chasing your dreams.